listening to Braves Country Radio. Please like and subscribe today, youtube.com/Braves Country. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Hey Braves Country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Lineup for yesterday by Ogden Ash. A is for Alex, the great Alexander. More goose eggs he pitched than a popular gander. B is for Bresnahan, back of the plate. The Cubs were his love and McGraw his hate. C is for Cobb, who grew spikes not corn and made all the basemen wish they weren't born. D is for Dean, the grammatical diz. When they asked who's the tops, said correctly I is. E is for Evers, his jaw in advance, never afraid to tinker with chance. F is for Fordham, and Frankie and Fish. I wish he were back with the Giants, I wish. G is for Gehrig, the pride of the stadium, his record pure gold, his courage pure radium. H is for Hornsby. When pitching to Raj, the pitcher would pitch, then the pitcher would dodge. I is for me, not a hard-hitting man, but an outstanding all-time, incurable fan. J is for Johnson, the big train in his prime, was so fast he could throw 3 strikes at a time. K is for Keeler, as fresh as green paint, the fastest and mostest to hit where they ain't. L is for LaHoy, whom Clevelanders love, Napoleon himself with glue in his glove. M is for Matty, who carried a charm in the form of an extra brain in his arm. N is for Newsom, Bobo's favorite Ken. You ask how he's here, he talked himself in. O is for Ott, of the restless right foot. When he leaned on the pellet stay put. P is for Plank, the arm of the A's. When he tangled with Matty, games lasted for days. Q is for Don Quixote, Cornelius Mack. Neither Yankees nor years can halt his attack. R is for Ruth, to tell you the truth. There's no more to be said, just R is for Ruth. S is for Speaker, swift center field tender. When the ball saw him coming, it yelled, I surrender. T is for Terry, the giant from Memphis, whose 400 average you can't overemphasize. U would be Ubel if Carl wore a Cockney, but we say Hubble in baseball like football in Rockney. V is for Vance, the Dodgers' very own Dazzy. None of his rivals could throw as fast as he. W, Wagner, the bow-legged beauty, short, close to all traffic with Honus on duty. X is the first of 2 X's in Fox, who was right behind Ruth with his powerful socks. Y is for Young, the magnificent sigh. People battled against him, but I never knew why. Z is for Zenith, the summit of fame. These men are up there. These men are the game. Lineup for yesterday, Ogden Ash, January 1949, Sport Magazine. Hey Braves Country, this is Mac Magee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Hey Braves Country, hi, I'm Mac Magee. We'll be bringing you play-by-play, pitch-by-pitch, inning-by-inning of your Atlanta Braves. Please like and subscribe to youtube.com/@BravesCountry. You're listening to Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Hey Braves Country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play, the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
You're in Braves country.
Good Sunday afternoon, Braves country. Hope y'all are having a great day. Always a little wonky starting up on these days, especially with being time change. And isn't that just grand? And of course, everything else that we've got going on. Did want to announce that we have started a membership club that's not mandatory to be able to watch what we've been watching for the last, we're going into our fourth season now, but all members will be appreciated. And it's just a small fee. It's only $2.99 a month. We went with the lowest one. They gave us an option. They wouldn't give us a lower option because of the size of our subscribers. So we went with $2.99, and then you're going to get some perks with it. And we'll explain it more as we go along. But essentially, any video that you see coming out, so there's a video coming out on opening day, well, you're going to be able to see it early. And there's a video coming out the next day, and you're going to be able to see that early. And the one coming out on opening day is called Lineup for Braves Country, and it's a poem that we put together during the off season. And then the other one is about Andrew Jones, and it's called Where Singles Go to Die. We're going to be doing more of that stuff. And it's a perk that you're going to be able to see it much earlier than someone who's not a member. You're also going to be able to be in live chats when it's a member-only chat. And we're going to tend to turn those on when we get some of these, some of the, look what I forgot to do. Yes, we are on the air. Time change. But we're going to put those on when we get some of these, these outsider jerks that start saying ugly and nasty things to everybody. They give me an option to be able to turn that on, and the members will still be able to chat away. So, and there's a bunch of more stuff coming, but that's what we set up to begin with. And you'll notice that if you sign up, you'll instantly get a little, for lack of a better term, a little marker next to your name, and it'll be a tomahawk so people know you're a member. And as you're a member longer, those will change. So as you get to the 2-month range, we've got I believe we have Acuna, and then you get to 6 months, it's Chipper Jones level, and so on and so forth. So you'll see ones that you'll become a member long enough, you'll be a part of the big three. The Smoltz, Maddox, Glavine, and then of course you got the Hank Aaron, Bobby Cox. We kind of went through the whole gamut of the longer you're there, people will know it instantly, and you're going to have access to emojis that people won't have that are a part of the membership as well. So a lot of cool stuff, and we're continuing to research and stuff that we can bring in as opening day comes along. But if you're listening to us on radio, we are on YouTube, Braves Country Radio. It's youtube.com/@BravesCountry. Now, as far as today's game, we're going to make this short and sweet. It's SSAJ Day, and I'm excited to watch it because when we first signed up for this game, I wanted to see what the Yankees were going to look like. I think a lot of y'all do too, because they're being projected as the favorite in the AL East because of all their different moves during the offseason. We'll talk about that during the ball game. But it originally lined up where it was going to be a Chris Sale day. Well, they pushed that up, and so he pitched yesterday, so we'll talk about that. But Chris Sale on the mound yesterday, he did okay. He had kind of a spotty appearance, but look, that happens in the spring. AJ Smith-Shawver today, this could be one of his last attempts to impress Bobby, I almost said Bobby Cox. I got the Bobby Cox Club on the brain. Brian Snicker, and an opportunity. Look, it's probably not likely that he's going to start with the big club, but he does want to impress because he wants to be a firm hold in their mind as far as getting to the bigs as soon as possible. I do believe he's going to be a part of this rotation this season, and not hoping any injuries on anybody. I'm just talking about, I expect that by the time we get about midway through the season, AJ Smith-Shawver is going to be one of the guys called upon. You rarely get all 5 starters to make anywhere close to 30 starts anyways. But then on top of that, I do believe Ronaldo Lopez, no matter what they end up doing, he'll eventually be in the back of that bullpen, because that's where the most value is for him in the postseason. Because if we have everybody healthy, Ronaldo Lopez would be in the bullpen anyways in the postseason, right? If you look at it, at the most you ever use is 4 starters in the postseason. And if everything goes to plan and everybody's healthy and hitting on all cylinders, you got to figure if the postseason started tomorrow, it would be some version of Max Fried and Spencer Strider in the 1-2. Chris Sale probably in the 3, depending on how he pitches this year. And Charlie Morton as your number 4 starter. But there are opportunities for guys like AJ Smith-Shawver to make their mark as well, and possibly even sliding into that when we get into the playoffs. He could be one of the guys that's called upon. But we got a lot of cool new stuff that's going to be going on this year. You're going to notice that the intros, I've been holding it. I'm like a kid on Christmas Day. I want to show y'all, but talk to the guys who run the radio side of it and whatnot, and we all agreed it's smarter to start it on opening day. But there's some really cool stuff that's coming your way to add to the pregame and the postgame, and hopefully y'all enjoy it, and hopefully y'all become members and check out the lineup for Braves Country, which like I said will be premiering on opening day. But if you're a member, you can see it today, and that as well as the one for Where Singles Go to Die, and it's about Andrew Jones. And the main reason for that was, man, it is time to get him in the damn Hall of Fame. It's ridiculous. And remember, he played a little time with the Yankees. We will be back in a flash. Going to step aside, get ready for first pitch, give you the lineups, etc., etc. Keep it locked in here on Braves Country Radio. Hey, Braves Country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play-by-Play, the classic call of Braves Country baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball. Casey at the Bat by Ernest Lawrence Thayer. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-2, but with 1 inning more to play. And when Cooney died at first and Barrows did the same, a pall-like silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to go in deep despair. The rest clung to the hope which springs eternal in the human breast. They thought, if only Casey could but get a whack at that, we'd put up even money now with Casey at the bat. But Flynn preceded Casey, as did Jimmy Blake, and the former was a hoodoo, while the latter was a cake. So upon that stricken multitude, grim, melancholy sat, for there seemed but little chance of Casey getting to the bat. But Flynn let drive a single, to the wonderment of all, and Blake, the much despised, tore the cover off the ball. And when the dust had lifted and men saw what had occurred, there was Jimmy safe at second and Flynn a hugging third. Then from 5,000 throats and more rose a lusty yell. It rumbled through the valley, it rattled in the dell. It pounded on the mountain and recoiled upon the flat, for Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing, and a smile lit Casey's face. And when responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat. No stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded when he wiped them on his shirt. Then while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance flashed in Casey's eye, a sneer curled Casey's lip. And now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air, and Casey stood a-watching it in a haughty grandeur there. Closed by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped. That ain't my style, said Casey. Strike one, the umpire said. From the benches black with people, there went up a muffled roar, like the beating of a storm waves on a stern and distant shore. Kill him! Kill the umpire! Shouted someone on the stand, and it's likely they'd have killed him had not Casey raised his hand. With the smile of Christian charity, great Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising tumult, he bade the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher, and once more the dun sphere flew. But Casey ignored it, and the umpire said, Strike two! Fraud! Cried the maddened thousands, and echoed answered fraud. But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. They saw his face grow stern and cold. They saw his muscles strain. And they knew that Casey wouldn't let that ball go by again. The sneer is from Casey's lip. His teeth are clenched in hate. He pounds with cruel violence his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball, and now he lets it go. And now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Oh, somewhere in the favored land, the sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light. And somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out. Casey at the Bat, Ernest Lawrence Thayer, published June 3rd, 1888. San Francisco Examiner.
There's something kind of about a kid that's never played baseball.
If baseball is about caring, about loyalty and rivalry.
Baerga is 0 for 3. Left center field. Grissom on the run. The team of the 90s has its world championship.
There's a very peaceful thing. It was created and played in pastures and meadows. There's grass, there's outdoors, there's everything that people thought was American and feel about America. You get in a ballpark, and it's the wonder of walking through that dark tunnel and seeing a huge open space where men play the little boy's game.
I believe in the Church of Baseball. I've tried all the major religions and most of the minor ones. I know things. For instance, There are 108 beads in a Catholic rosary, and there are 108 stitches in a baseball. I prefer metaphysics to theology. You see, there's no guilt in baseball, and it's never boring. It's a long season, and you gotta trust it. I've tried them all, I really have, and the only church that truly feeds the soul day in, day out is the Church of Baseball.
Touch 'em all, Joe! You'll never hit a bigger home run in your life!
A room in right center. If he hits one there, we can dance in the streets. The 2-1. Swung, line drive, left field. One run is in. Here comes Braves. Here's the throw to the plate. He is safe. Braves win. Braves win. Braves win. Braves win.
You're in Braves country.
We're down to one strike here. Gurriel, the last hope for the Houston Astros. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, bounced over to Dansby. Dansby fires it over to first. And here comes the dog pile. Fire the cannons in the battery. Do the chop all throughout Braves country. Pop that top. Your Atlanta Braves have won it all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we once were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Play ball!
Hey, howdy, hi, and how the hell are you? Pull up an armchair, girls and boys. It's time for Braves Country Baseball, and we are going to go over the lineups really quickly. We'll go through them as they come to the plate. Leading off for the Atlanta Braves, it's going to be Michael Harris II. So I'm trying to pull up everything. They keep darting everything around. It's kind of funny. I think MLB is having the same issue with everyone's having, and the fact that we lost an hour. So spring forward and let's do this. Michael Harris II will be leading off today and playing center field. David Fletcher will be playing second, batting second. Kelnick in left field, followed up by Murphy, Alvarez, Wall, Luke Williams, Liberato, Velasquez, and Smith-Shawver will be on the mound. And we're going to take a really quick break as the final pitches are being thrown by Clark Schmidt, and we're getting ready for Braves Country Baseball. right. First pitch is on the way to Michael Harris's second, and he takes a whack at it and whistles that one into center field, and it is a leadoff single for your Atlanta Braves. Atlanta's wearing the road gray bottoms and blue tops. Their spring training tops have been wearing all spring. Blue tops with the gray pants, red lettering, outlined in white. Atlanta across the chef's tomahawk underneath. First pitch on the way to David Fletcher, the number 2 hitter, is high and out of the zone. It's 1-0. Braves nothing, Yankees nothing. Yankees wearing their traditional home pinstripes, top to bottom with the dark blue hats. The 1-0 pitch. Schmidt misses left inside, 2-0. So a 2-0 count. Welcome in Braves country. Please hit that like button. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. The 2-0 from Clark Schmidt lets her ride. Fastball right down the pipe. They're going to fire it down to first to keep MH2 close by. Harris almost caught napping. Good hustling throw by Trevino down there to the first base side at Rizzo, but he was back under the tag. It's 2-1. That fastball was right down the middle for a strike. The 2-1. Runner on first, nobody out. Fletcher at the plate, Kelenic on deck, Murphy in the hole. Righty-righty matchup, the 2-1 pitch. Outside wide, Fletcher shows bunt, pulls it back. It's now 3-1. So a 3-1 count. These two teams will face off again here on Braves Country Radio. A week from Thursday, we'll have the call here as well. 105 first pitch for that one as well. That is a part of the opening series of Dodgers and Padres, which will be 6:05 first pitch at 6 in the morning Eastern time. We will do those games as well. Schmidt flips it over to first. Harris under the tag barely. We'll do it up again at 3-1. The 3-1 pitch. High and out of the zone. Ball 4. And Fletcher will head on down to first. First and second. Nobody out. Jared Kelenic, who has been scuffling at the plate, to say at the least, to start the season, will come to the plate batting .253, 11 home runs, 49 RBI last year. Righty-lefty matchup. No spring training can't be the end-all that beats all, but you know that Kelenic wants to get something going here in the spring, heading towards opening day. We've only got just about 2 weeks left before you start packing up and heading towards Philadelphia for the opening series. The first pitch to Kelenic, swung on. That ball is rifled into right field. That's down for a base hit. Here comes the throw from the right fielder, Soto, and all runners will hold, but the bases are juiced. Loaded. Nobody out. Sean Murphy coming to the plate. There's a fastball right down Main Street. Kelenic did not miss it. Dumps it into right field. Regular season game, they may have tried to send Michael Harris to second, but no sense of getting a play at the plate during the spring. The first pitch on the way to Murphy is over for a strike on the outer half. It's 0-1. Sean Murphy, 21 home runs last year with 68 RBI and 844 OPS. The 0-1 pitch looked like the sinker on the outer edge, taken again by Murphy, and it's 0-2. So he's gone sweeper, sinker. The 0-2 pitch. Outside wide. Did he go around? They're going to check down the first baseline. They did not. It's 1-2. Braves nothing, Yankees nothing. Bases loaded top of the first inning. The 1-2 pitch. Swing! Pops it up. Can of corn high in the sky, bending in foul territory, just past Trevino's reach as it drifts into the stands. We'll do it again. It's 1-2. He's going sweeper, sinker, knuckle curve, and then back to the sweeper. Bases loaded, nobody out. You know he'd love to get a ground ball here with the catcher standing at first. The 1-2 pitch. Schmidt lets her fly. Swing, and that ball's banged foul down the third base line. Plenty foul, about 7 or 8 feet. We'll do it again at 1-2. A.J. Smith-Shawver is the pitcher for today for the Atlanta Braves. They'll hope to get him around 60 pitches or so. So bases juiced, nobody out. The 1-2 pitch swung on, and that ball is rifled into the corner. It's going to rattle around like a pinball, and 1 run will score. Here comes Fletcher. 2 runs will score, and they're going to go ahead and send Kelnick from first to home. 3 runs will score, and your Atlanta Braves have taken a 3-0 lead. Sean Murphy turned on that pitch and scuba-dooped it into the corner. Verdugo had a long way to go, and by the time he got it, those wheels of Kelnick had him rounding the bases. Good base running by Jared Kelnick. Pretty good relay, but they cut it off before it got to the plate. So 3-0 your score. Runner on second, nobody out. Sean Murphy with the bases clearing double. Nacho Alvarez at the plate. Alvarez, today's third baseman, he can also play up the middle in the infield. The 0-1 pitch on the cut on the outer side. It's 0-2. So to the right-hander, Schmidt has started off with the sweeper on all the at-bats. The 0-2 pitch. Swung on, chopped foul. Just foul down the third base line. Pulled over the knuckle curve. Murphy will retreat back to second. As he was hustling on the plate, he was standing on third when the ball finally came to a stop. Braves 3, Yankees nothing. The 0-2 from Schmidt. Kicks and deals. Outside wide, 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Runner on second, nobody out. Alvarez trying to get Murphy over to third, at least, the 1-2 pitch. Ow, that was a wild pitch. It hits the backstop, and Murphy will jog down to third, and there you go. Any kind of a deep fly ball or up the middle will score Murphy with these now. So you had a 2-2 count, runner on third, nobody out. Standing on deck is Forrest Wall. Nacho Alvarez digs in, righty-righty matchup. Lets her go inside high and inside. And it's a full count now. Full count pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Looked like he foul tipped it into the glove, but nonetheless, there's one away. It's about the one thing that Nacho Alvarez didn't want to do on that at bat was strike out. Had an opportunity for an RBI. Alvarez, just 20 years old. One of the better prospects in the Braves organization. You got to figure he's going to be in that breakout game on the 16th versus Boston. First pitch on the way to Forrest Ball is swung on and foul tipped into the glove. It's 0-1. Wall, left-handed speedster. Very good chance of making this this roster on opening day. The 0-1 pitch is swung on, and that ball is going to get dribbled into right field. That's going to get down for a base hit, and your Atlanta Braves have taken a 4-0 lead. Sean Murphy comes scampering home. You still got speed on the base paths with Forrest Wall, one of the fastest men in the sport. Clark Schmidt, not the type of game he had in mind. Yankees are starting what would essentially be their opening day roster, except for the fact that Volpe is not in the game. First pitch on the way to Luke Williams is a swing and a miss strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1, outside wide. Sinker missed well out of the zone, 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Pitch on the way. That was going to flip it back over to first, keeping Forrest Wall at bay. One on, one out, Braves 4 across. The 1-1 pitch. Drifts inside. I think he was going for the sweeper, but it didn't sweep. It kind of knuckled inside, and it's 2-1. So a 2-1 count. Comes set, lets her go. Swung on and taps that foul off the plate. 2-2. 2-2 count. Schmidt comes set. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So 2 down. Clark Schmidt with a rough outing here has given up 4 runs, all clean runs, if you're just joining us. A little bit of a mound visit. It looks like, yeah, we're going to get a pitching change. I was double checking that. We're going to get a pitching change. We'll be right back. Joey Gerber is going to come in for Clark Schmidt. Not a good sign for that young man. We'll be back in a flash. Welcome back. All right, good. I'm going to double check to make sure that that thing went out to you, Goat. First pitch on the way from Gerber to face Liberato, righty-lefty matchup. Joey Gerber, they've got to be calling him the Gerber baby, right? young kid, fresh face. I mean, he looks like he's 12, 13 years old out there. Of course, that's just a sign that I'm getting old. Luis Liberato takes the first strike. It's 0-1. They're going to flip it back over to first to keep Forrest Wall close by. Here's the wind-up, the pitch. And Forrest Wall is on the run, and I think they got him. He tried to do a quick slide step, but it looks like they just got him in the nick of time. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country Baseball.
Cheeseburger, 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 cheeseburger.
Ship my pants. Right here? Ship my pants, you're kidding.
You can ship your pants right here.
You hear that? I can ship my pants for free.
Wow, I just may ship my pants.
Yeah, ship your pants. Billy, you can ship your pants too.
I can't wait to ship my pants, Dad.
I just shipped my pants, and it's very convenient.
Very convenient.
I just shipped my drawers.
I just shipped my nightie.
I just shipped my bed.
If you can't find what you're looking for in store, we'll find it right now and ship it to you for free.
Armchair.
Hey, Braves Country, this is Mac Magee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
Yes, can I get an iced coffee, please? And hang on one second. What do you think?
Oh, no, I'm broke. I ain't got no money. I'm good.
Are you sure? Because I'll get you anything.
Well, I guess if you're paying, you can just go ahead and just surprise me.
Yes, can I get the iced coffee and a job application for my deadbeat friend?
It is an American odyssey that links sons and daughters to fathers and grandfathers. And it reflects a host of age-old American tensions between workers and owners, scandal and reform, the individual and the collective.
Pull up a chair. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back. A.J. Smith-Shawver, or as he's affectionately known around these parts, the SSAJ will hit the mound. Big lean right-hander comes set, lifts his red glove, lets her fly right there at the knees for a strike. 95 miles an hour to DJ LeMahieu. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Shawver lifts his glove, kicks again, swung on, and blasts that foul over the first base dugout well into the crowd. It's 0-2. Braves 4, Yankees nothing. The 0-2 pitch. Swung on, chops that foul down the third base line. We'll do it again. Looked like the curveball that he came inside, and DJ LeMahieu needs a second to fix his batting helmet. The 0-2 pitch swung on and lifted high in the sky into center field. On the run, making the play is Michael Harris II. One away. That'll bring Juan Soto to the plate. Juan Soto digs in, and the first pitch is a curveball down below the ankles. It's 1-0. Juan Soto coming over in the trade from the San Diego Padres. Probably the biggest trade in the offseason. 1-0 pitch. 97 miles an hour just inside 2-0. They're hoping to pair him along with Aaron Judge for a heck of a 1-2 punch. The 2-1. 97 on the outer black just kisses the side, and it's 2-1. So a 2-1 count. Juan Soto batting .467 this spring with 3 home runs. The 2-1, changeup misses high, ball 3. The 3-1. Shawver comes set, lifts the glove, lets her fly. Swing, and that ball is hammered into center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. And Juan Soto's on, one out, and Aaron Judge coming to the plate. You got to figure this is what Yankee fans are looking forward to this year. Not only adding Juan Soto, you can imagine if they're all healthy, a Soto, Judge, Stanton back to back to back, and then backing that up with Rizzo and company. Aaron Judge digs in. The first pitch is a fastball on the knees on the outer edge. It's 0-1. The 0-1 swing and lifts that high down the right field line, foul. 0-2. The 0-2 kicks and fires. Fastball caught, looking, strike 3. Judge got caught watching the paint dry, and there's 2 away. Braves 4, Yankees nothing. Bottom of the first inning. Anthony Rizzo stands at the plate, righty-lefty matchup. First pitch on the way is a curveball well inside. Good take by Riz. 1-0. The 1-0. Shawver rocks and fires. Down below the knees, 2-0. So a 2-0 count. Not hardly a cloud in the sky here today. Yankees spring training stadium. Easy for me to say. The 2-0 pitch inside. Misses, and Rizzo just holds up. They're going to check down the third base line, but third base ump says he did not go. Ball 3. So a 3-0 count. Fastball just clips the inner part, 3-1. The 3-1. Shawver raises that red glove. Fastball on the inner track, and it's 3-2. So a full count, runner on first, 2 outs. Fletcher playing first. He's going to play behind the runner now. Shawver comes set, lets her go. Swing, and that ball's grounded over towards second. Making the play as Fletcher flips it over to Luke Williams. And that'll end the inning. So Yankees put one on but fail to score. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country Radio.
Am I boring? Sure. Social skills? None. But I'm loyal if you feed me, and I will never leave you because, well, I need the food.
Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
I think one of my biggest faults is that when I ask somebody what their name is, I forget to listen to what their name is.
On July 15, 1994, in a game between the Chicago White Sox and the Cleveland Indians, umpires confiscated a bat belonging to the Indian star slugger Albert Bell. They suspected Bell had tampered with it, illegally hollowing it out and filling it with cork to enhance his bat speed. Bell's teammates were worried. They were sure that all of Bell's bats were corked and did not want their best player suspended. Indians pitcher Jason Grimsley had a plan to get his teammate off the hook. Gripping a flashlight with his teeth, he hoisted himself into the crawl space above the clubhouse and inched along on his stomach until he was on top of the umpire's dressing room, where Bell's bat had been locked away for safekeeping. Grimsley lowered himself into the room, replaced Bell's bat with an unadulterated one belonging to another player, and then crawled back to the clubhouse. The umpires were furious when they discovered the switch, but there was little they could do about it.
The hero of the piece is probably Jason Grimsley because he's the one acting on behalf of the team. But there's your problem with cheating. Some of it is, in fact, weirdly commendable, if not noble. You know, Gaylord Perry, how many times did he throw a spitball, and how many times did he merely convince you that he threw a spitball? How many of these are not so much cheats as deceptions, artful deceptions?
Welcome back to Braves Country Radio. First pitch on the way. Liberato righty-lefty matchup. Right there, first strike, it's 0-1. Clark Schmidt is back out there. One of the spring training rules that was put into effect a few years ago. You can't pull a guy for the inning. They do that to prevent injury. The Schmidt, now at 29 pitches, has an 0-2 count. Jose Liberato comes to set, and curveball caught, looking, strike three. Kind of a wide call, but probably clipped the zone as it drifted by. You could tell Liberato didn't like it, but it's one of those pitches, you got two strikes, you got to take a swing at that pitch. First pitch on the way to Velazquez. Is outside the zone for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Cutter fouled off out of play. It's 1-1. The 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss over the top. It's 1-2. Andrew Velazquez, not likely to make the MLB roster anytime soon. He's giving Orlando Arcia the day off. So a lot of these veterans will take the day off on the road games early in the spring. So a 1-2 count. Pitch way outside the zone. 2-2. Tried to land the curveball, but that pitch was way out on the outer edge. Two. Caught, looking, strike three. Put that knuckle curve out there again, and adios, muchacho. There's two away. Clark Schmidt, who got banged around in the first inning by the top of the order, has now struck out the first 2 men he has seen in the bottom of the order. That'll bring the top back up to the plate. Michael Harris II, who had a single his first time up, takes the first pitch outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0 down and away, 2-0. The 2-0 pitch. Swing! And that ball's lifted high and deep into right field, going back on the track, making the catch. Just in front of the right field wall is Juan Soto, and that'll end the inning. 3 up, 3 down, but Harris gave her a ride. We'll be back in a flash. The SSAJ going back to the mound.
Y'all want to know who I date, who I go with?
No. Got to come in with a fastball and gain a fastball hitter.
Deep to left. There's Ron Gant's first ever grand slam.
I was talking to I was talking to one of my friends, and he told me that him and his new girlfriend were trying something new, so they wanted to try bees. So, and he said, "Did you know that you're supposed to pull beads out real slow?" And I was like, "No, I didn't know that." He was like, "Me neither. I started that girl up like a chainsaw."
I'm 40. I threw my back out plugging in my phone charger the other day. I'm 40. Why are everyone's headlights so bright? I'm 40. If there's no parking, I'm not going. I'm 40. I'm going to calculate my sugar intake relative to hours before bed. I'm 40. Why are there so many people everywhere all the time? I'm 40. I'm cranky, and I'll be the first one to tell you.
2 outs, 2 strikes on Reggie, and you've got to know he's going to get the super sinker. The set, here it comes. The sinker swung on and missed. Reggie is fuming.
Late in his career, Hall of Fame pitcher Gaylord Perry confessed what those who had played against him knew all too well, that he had regularly doctored the ball. Generations of major leaguers, including some of the greatest stars in the game, used some form of amphetamines to increase their focus and energy. But by the late 1980s, some baseball players had found a new way to gain an edge.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way from A.J. Smith-Shawver. It's swung on and banged foul back behind home plate. It's 0-1. Gleyber Torres. Righty-righty matchup. Torres batted .273 with 25 home runs last year. The 0-1 pitch might have been a strike, but Murphy couldn't hold it, dropped the ball, and they called it a ball. It's 1-1. It's one of those ones, if he holds it, he may have gotten the call, but it was a 50-50. The 1-1 swung on, and that ball is laced against the shift into right field, down for a base hit. And the New York Yankees got a leadoff runner here in the bottom of the second inning, nobody out. It was a little bit of a hanger. Luckily for Shawver, it hung out on the outside part of the plate, and he just dumped it into right field. Righty-righty matchup. Pitch on the way. Curve ball outside. Called for a wide strike. Giancarlo Stanton did not like that one. It's 0-1. Stanton batted .191 last year with 24 home runs. The 0-1 pitch. Curve ball. That one was called inside, 1-1. So a pitcher's call on the first pitch and a hitter's call on the second pitch. Shawver turns around and spins, flips it over to first. Giancarlo Stanton with the high knee socks. Pinstripes. Digs in the 1-1 pitch. That ball is going to get laced into right center field. And just before it gets the wall, Michael Harris II backhands it, flips it back into the infield. But the New York Yankees have runners on second and third. A double that did not score Torres because Harris was able to stop the ball from getting to the wall. But he didn't have a whole lot on that throw. So Stanton was able to make it to second. Stanton doesn't run like he used to, but still with decent speed. First pitch, righty-lefty matchup to Alex Verdugo. He's going to chop it into the hole. Throw is across the diamond, a one-hopper, not much on it. And that's going to score a run. An infield single for Verdugo. The Yankees are on the board. It's 4-1. Giancarlo Stanton goes from second to third. So runners on the corners, nobody out. Shawver comes set. Pitch on the way to Trevino, the hind catcher. He takes a hack and a whiff and a miss, and it's 0-1. The 0-1 comes set and fire. Swung on. That ball is lifted into deep left center field. Harris will round up, square up, make the catch, fired into the infield. But before he can get it there, the Yankees scored their second run of the game. Tagging up from third was Stanton. And the lead's been cut in half. It's 4-2. Harris was able to keep the runner at first at base, so he'll stand at first. One out, double play still in order. That'll bring the number 9 hitter, Cabrera, to the plate. Cabrera pushes a bunt down the third base line. Plenty foul. Good idea, just couldn't keep it fair. It's 0-1. Oswaldo Cabrera, last year, 211 batter, 5 home runs, 29 RBI. The 0-1. 1 on, 1 out. Shawver comes set, kicks and deals. Swing, and the curveball's flipped back, fouling out of play. It's 0-2. That curveball, he's been leaving it up a little bit today. Those are the ones they've really been hitting hard. The 0-2 pitch. Shawver comes set, lets her go, swung on, and that ball is rifled into right field. Down for a base hit. Coming up and scooping the ball, getting it back into the infield quickly is Forrest Wall, but you got runners on first and second and 1 down. You do wonder how much longer before Snicker may decide to give Shawver the seat for the rest of the inning, much like Aaron Boone did with Clark Schmidt in the first. He's up at 30 pitches. Murphy goes out there to talk to him just to give him a breather. Robert, you're asking about the 5th starter. My money would still be long-term on Bryce Elder, but they may break with camp with essentially 4 starters and a 5th being Ronaldo Lopez that they could use out of the pen. They do have some off days sprinkled in at the beginning of the season. First pitch on the way to Shawver from Shawver, swung on and rifled foul and out of play over the first base side. It's 0-1. DJ LeMahieu, Yankees leadoff hitter, 0-for-1. Righty-righty matchup. The 0-1 pitch swung on, and that ball is lifted high and deep down the third base left field line. It's just going to curve foul and out of play. That could have been trouble. The 0-2. Shawver comes set. Lets her go. Swing and bangs that down. Foul on the third base line. We'll do it again. Runner on first and second, 0-2 count, 1 down. The SSAJ kicks and deals. Curveball misses well inside 1-2. He is really trying to get that curveball to work. Just doesn't seem to have the grip on it. The 1-2 from Shawver. Lets her fly. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Blew it right past him. Heat on the outer edge. Hitting that radar gun at about 96 miles an hour. And there's 2 away. So now we got big trouble. Juan Soto coming to the plate. Righty-lefty matchup. First pitch, fastball right there at the knees. It's 0-1. Juan Soto had a single in the first, raising his spring average to 500 and a 1743 OPS. Yikes. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and fouls it down the line. It's 0-2. Remember, he scuffled from time to time after he left Washington going out to San Diego, but I don't think that's going to be an issue in New York. Hitting in front of Aaron Judge, that man is going to be seeing some pretty pitches all year long. The 0-2 pitch. Curveball just misses high and wide. Almost looked like it kissed the upper top of the edge, but didn't get the call. It's 1-2. I wondered how Boone was going to do this lineup because Judge had been the number 2 hitter for so long and is a better base runner in theory. The 1-2 pitch. Swing. Fouls that back. Do it again at 1-2. But it may be as simple as him wanting to have righty, lefty, righty down the order. And if they're going to have LeMahieu as their leadoff hitter, I still wonder how long that's going to go on because LeMahieu has definitely lost a step. The 1-2 pitch, swung on, chops that foul down the first baseline towards the dugout. We'll do it again. Anthony Volpe, if he can take the next step, he would be an interesting piece to either put at the 9 spot like Atlanta does with Harris, or do you maybe even have him lead off? 2 on, 2 out. The 1-2 count from Shawver. Pitch is swung on, chopped high. Baltimore chopper charging. Fletcher fires it over to first, and he gets us out of the inning. A 4-3 put out. Man, was that close. Good hustle by Fletcher. We'll be back in a flash.
Interesting facts about me. I was born on my birthday. I don't tell everybody this, but I'm also naked under my clothes.
Spring training, the precursor to the regular season. Here's the history of spring training. The first baseball team to host spring training outside of their home field was the New York Mutuals when they traveled to New Orleans in 1869. Aside from New Orleans, teams would also train in Washington, D.C., Georgia, and Cape May in New Jersey. Originally, not all teams participated in spring training. One manager argued that players would be more susceptible to injuries and colds when they returned to their colder home climates. The birthplace of spring training baseball could be traced back to Hot Springs, Arkansas, where the first major league teams would visit before the season started. Babe Ruth's first time playing any position other than pitcher occurred in a spring training game on St. Patrick's Day in 1918. The first time the phrase pitchers and catchers report was used was in an article in the Sporting News in 1924. After World War II, both the Brooklyn Dodgers and the New York Yankees trained outside of the United States in the Dominican Republic and Cuba. The Grapefruit League got its name after an aviator named Ruth Law was supposed to drop a baseball 500 feet out of her plane for the Brooklyn Dodgers manager Wilbert Robinson to catch, but instead used a grapefruit because she forgot the ball. Usually the team with the best record in spring training doesn't go on to win the whole thing, but it has happened. Both the 2009 Yankees and the 2018 Boston Red Sox won both the Grapefruit League and the World Series in the same year.
So it wasn't just Canseco, and so one of the reasons that I thought that it was an important subject was it was spreading. It was already spreading by 1988.
The sports writer Tom Boswell tried to raise the issue, but no one paid attention. Soon, Other players, including some of Canseco's Oakland teammates, were asking him for advice, following his training program.
We began seeing these enormous bodies like we'd never seen before. And, you know, when you saw some guys take off their shirts, all of a sudden it's like, whoa, what's going on here?
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball here on Braves Country Radio. Please like and subscribe today. We have started a new membership offer for folks out there. We'll explain that as we go along. Helps support the channel, and you're going to get a few perks with it too. Sign up today. We only did the one low level to get started. It's just the $2.99 a month. So, I mean, literally, what was that, 10 cents a day? I sound like one of those commercials with Sally Struthers. First pitch on the way to from Clark Schmidt. He is back out there. He'll face Fletcher, Kelenic, and Murphy. The 0-1's fouled off. It's 0-2. Schmidt comes set. The 0-2 pitch. Fastball looking. Strike 3. So Schmidt has definitely settled down after that rough outing in the first inning. We got some good news, by the way, from Ronald Acuna Jr. He was playing on the backfield yesterday. On the minor league backfield, he went and played like a simulated game. So they showed him with at bats. I don't know if he played in the field. All they showed was at bats. I think he just DH'd. Goat, it should be live. The membership, it got approved yesterday afternoon, so it should be live. The 3-0 pitch. Caught looking for a strike, 3-1. Kelenic was ready to head on down to first base. He was already flipping his bat towards the dugout, so now he's got to retrieve that. So a 3-1 count. I'm sure Kelenic had to use his timeout. They didn't show it, but you would assume. The 3-1 pitch. Swing and fouls it back. It's 3-2. So a full count to Kelenic. So right now, if you join with the membership, I talked about this in the pregame. Is the full count delivery. Down and in, ball 4. So Mr. Jared Kelenic having a much better day today. Takes himself a walk, heads on down to first. I'll have to look into it. It said it was approved, but it may not show up yet. I would hope it would be up and ready to go by this week, because it showed me that it was ready to go, but I'll have to check it after the game. First pitch on the way to Sean Murphy is down and away for a called strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1, check swing, foul back behind the plate. It's 0-2. And right now, the two videos that we're releasing on opening day and the day after, when you become a member, you'll be able to see those instantly. Those were some couple of things that we put together that's new for this season. We're going to be doing more of those, and if you're a member, you'll be able to see them much earlier than everybody else. You'll also notice that when you sign up, you'll get a it's like a, for lack of a better term, it's like a button that goes to let folks know you're a member. The 0-2 pitch, swung on, hit high into right field. It's going to be caught, and Kelenic's going to get doubled up. I don't know if he thought there was 2 outs or what happened there. That was a boneheaded base running played by Kelnick. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
Out of all my body parts, my eyeballs are the strongest because I roll them like 342 times a day.
You see this? He can't hit, he can't run, and he should have been born a girl. The only way he can catch a ball is if it hits him directly in the mouth. And yet, he shows up week after week just like a cold sore. If he can try, you can try. Now get out there and act like there's something in those jock straps.
Happy day to everyone except people that insist on putting loose change on top of dollar bills in your receipt in your hand. Like, don't do that. Change first.
In the wake of drug scandals that had rocked the game in the 1980s, Commissioner Fay Vincent was more concerned with preventing cocaine and marijuana abuse. And the powerful Major League Baseball Players Association, now led by Donald Fear, was vehemently opposed to any mandatory steroid screening program as a violation of their members' right to privacy. As a result, professional baseball players were free to take whatever they wanted, with no fear of punishment.
The notion that we would willingly surrender to our employer as the price of a job all the protections we insist on from the government is a rather extraordinary notion.
The Players Association did a horrible job in this case. They should have seen this early on and said, wait a minute, how can we expect some of our players to compete at a competitive disadvantage or force them to make the horrible choice of running whatever risks there may be to their health or their reputations or whatever it may be to either use to keep up or don't use and inevitably fall behind? Who is it that we represent? The guilty or the innocent?
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back. Goat, I think I figured it out. User error. After all the they have you jump through all these hoops to set it up. And evidently there's a turn on button and I just hit it. So I think that fixed it. For first pitch on the way is a swing and a miss from Aaron Judge. Hanger on the outer edge. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Shawver lifts the glove, lets her go. Swing and a miss. Another curveball 0-2. Go. Let me see if it shows up now because I just realized that there was a button at the very top off to the side because it said, you know, this is complete, you're good to go. I honestly thought they would just turn it on once you completed everything. So an 0-2 count from Shawver. Lifts his red glove, lets her go. Fastball in the dirt, nowhere near the zone. Hey! When in doubt, it's user error on my end. Goat, the first new member. Appreciate it, Goat. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike three. Got him with the curveball. That curveball looks a little sharper than the one he was throwing in last inning. The other one, he was kind of hanging. That one was more of a, I don't know if I'd call it a 12-6, but it's like a 1-7. First pitch on the way to Rizzo. He lifts his fastball high and deep into center field, making the catch just before the warning track as Michael Harris II 2 away. So y'all will notice that there's a couple of new poems. One's called Lineup for Braves Country, which will premiere on opening day and then the day after, Where Singles Go to Die, which was written for Andrew Jones because we're trying to push to get him into the Hall of Fame. We got some stuff coming for Dale Murphy and whatnot, but if you remember, you'll see it before everybody else. The 1-0 pitch. Swung on, chops it, foul off the plate. It's 1-2. Braves 4, Yankees 2. Bottom of the third. D, the New York Yankees scored their 2 in the last half inning. We got all 4 of ours in the first. None of the balls left the park. It was just a hit parade. The 1-1 swung on, fouled off the plate. It's 1-2. Hey, Ryan. Good seeing you again from Central Florida. The 1-2 pitch. Turns and deals. Swing and laces that up the middle. Coming over just under the glove. And I mean just under the glove of Velasquez. It goes in between Velasquez and Fletcher, who came over to cover, and churning and burning. And they'll turn into a 2-out double. Good hustle. Good hustle. And it's funny, when he got that hit, he was kind of Cadillacing around in first, and he realized everyone was asleep and took off running. So Torres, with good hustle, gets himself into scoring position. It was kind of a bad throw by Harris, I think mainly because it caught him by surprise. First pitch to Stanton is there for a strike. It's 0-1. Giancarlo Stanton, who blasted a double into the gap earlier. The 0-1 pitch swung on. That ball's hit high and deep into right field. Drifting back, making the catch is Forrest Wall. And that'll end the inning just before the warning track. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country Radio.
I feel like if God wanted to make me mentally stable, he would have made me mentally stable. But he didn't. So lock your doors.
After that tough 7-game series, Rodman had comments.
Yes.
You know, about Larry Legend. Then they come to you.
Yeah.
And you had comments.
Yeah, so here's the thing, right? Game 7, I think Larry has like a triple-double, like, you know, he torched Rodman, right? So Rodman's all upset. They give him the mic, and he says what he says, right? And I kind of echo it. Now, here's the beauty of it. Larry, you had my career right in the palm of your hand. Had you handled that press conference different, you could have just like, but this is what this man said.
If the statements or whatever was said doesn't bother me, I don't think it should bother any of us. But I just feel sorry for Isaiah because, you know, just walking in this room and seeing everybody, it must have touched a lot of people. But if Isaiah tells me that it was a joking matter, I think we should leave it at that.
Come on, we've been in them locker rooms, taking tough losses. You know, competition sometimes brings the best out of you and the worst. Isaiah was a great basketball player. He had a big career ahead of it. To damage his career by saying something I didn't mean.
Do you think I'm elitist? Of course I do. You needn't worry about that. No, not in a good way.
Ever since the players had formed their union in 1966, tensions with the owners had steadily escalated. There had been a strike or a lockout every time they had to negotiate a new contract.
Basically what? They're arguing over how to spend our money, right? You know, I mean, I'm a baseball fan, I like to see them play ball, but, you know, I have no sympathy for either party. None.
The fact that it shut down and stayed shut down was devastating. I can remember being in New York in the fall and being on the 7 train and going past Shea Stadium. It looked like a graveyard to me. I can remember just thinking they should be playing right now and just being so angry to the point where, like, there were tears in my eyes.
First pitch on the way. We got a new pitcher in the game. Nacho Alvarez digs in. Gonzalez, the left-hander, misses inside 1-0 and follows that up with another one inside 2-0. Thanks for becoming a new member, Raymond. And I thought I saw Robert as well. The 2-0 pitch swung on, grounded up the middle, scooped and flips it over to first. Nice 6-3 put out by the shortstop, Cabrera, and there's one away. With everything that was going on today and the time change, I forgot to do this, so let's go ahead and get the roll call going.
Get this bus moving. Stop. Come back.
Too late.
Roll call! Yeah, yeah, roll call!
You're in Braves country. Forrest Wall comes to the plate, lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch is a fastball right across the letters for a strike. It's 0-1. Good afternoon, Goat, Jeremy, Cody, Thomas. As the 0-1 pitch is swung on, that ball is lifted into right field just over the outstretched glove of Gleyber Torres. It'll drop down for a single, and the Braves got a runner here, 1 on, 1 out, to get the 4th inning rolling. Forget where I left off. Good afternoon, Gary, Thomas. Thomas is over in Japan. Robert, Russell. Got D. Lefty-righty matchup. First pitch on the way to Luke Williams. Popped up high in the sky. Back behind home plate, but out of play. It's 0-1. Love. I think I already said Robert, but if not, hello, Robert. And welcome in new members, Goat, Robert, and Raymond. So you got a 1-1 count on Luke Williams as the second pitch missed well inside. Gonzalez, the left-hander. More on him here in 1 second. Victor Gonzalez, 28 years old. The 1-1 pitch swung on. That ball's lifted high and deep. Going back on the track. Zip, boom, bam, it's gone. Ram-a-lam-a ding-dong. A 2-run shot in your Hotlanta Braves. I've taken a 6-2 lead. Wow. That was a hanger and a banger, and Luke Williams, rightfully so, is taking the grand tour, and he's taking his time. I don't blame him. You know he knows he's not going to the big club, at least to start off, barring any kind of terrible injuries. First pitch on the way to Liberato is right there at the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. Victor Gonzalez, by the way, from New Mexico. 28 years old. The 0-1 misses. It's 1-1. You may remember him sparingly played with the Dodgers for the last 3 or 4 years, joined the Yankees this season. The 1-1 pitch, swing and foul tips that away. It's 1-2. Liberato's had himself a pretty good spring. Beginning to the spring, he's kind of hit the skids here recently. He does have a home run. The 1-1 pitch is swung on and fouled back out of play. It's 1-2. Luis Liberato from the Dominican Republic. Came over from San Diego as well. He's played 125 games. I'm sorry, 106 games in his career. The 1-2 pitch swung on, chopped on the ground. Liberato's going to beat that out with ease, and we've got a runner on first. 1 out. It was one of those darned if you do, darned if you don't. It was a high chopper, Baltimore chopper, but by the time it came down, you can make the argument LeMahieu shouldn't have let the ball hit the ground that second time. But I don't know if he would have been able to make that catch and throw him out anyways. But that would have been his only hope. The first pitch on the way is high and out of the zone to Velazquez. It's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Flips it over to first. Williams back in plenty of time. We'll do it again. So you got an 0-1 count, 1 on, 1 out. Velazquez, the number 9 hitter. Michael Harris, the second, standing on deck as the order would flip over. Lefty-righty matchup to the switch hitter. Swung on. That ball is going to be a tailor-made 4-6-3 double play. But not before your Atlanta Braves put 2 on the board. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country Baseball.
Be like, men can get pregnant and have periods too, and don't you dare say otherwise. And another thing, until a man can get pregnant and carry a baby, I don't want to hear his opinion on abortion.
So everybody says if you take the coordinates to the Miami Mall and you reverse them, it'll put you in Antarctica.
Yeah, it's a grid system, dude. Latitude, longitude. It's a grid system. Yeah, that's how it works.
So all this talk of portals and stuff opening up, right? You change the north to east and change the west to south. That's it. It puts you right in Antarctica. Isn't that crazy?
Except it isn't, dude. It isn't. Have you ever seen a graph? It's not that crazy. I want to be an idiot. I want to be dumb, dude. Because you got to be dumb to just, oh, somebody told me if you mix these numbers, then that's a portal to another. No further questions.
Now watch this. Watch what happens when I change the south and the east to north and west. Look where it puts me in.
Is it putting you on the other side of the graph, dude? Are you going to the other side of the graph?
Now what are the odds of that?
It is a grid system. The odds are pretty good, dude. Have you never seen a graph? You can go up, you can go down, you can go left and right. What are you not getting about this? I wish I was an idiot, dude. Your life seems simple and great, and I'm envious.
Y'all, I recently realized that it's really important for me to get out of the house every once in a while to remind myself why I don't go out.
Suffer a shocking loss, and you think it's never going to be the same again. And you're thinking, I'm not going to another game. I'm not going to pay the prices that go into the players' pockets and into management's wallets. I'm not going to do it. I'm sick of all of them. And then Ripken comes along.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Atlanta Braves lead this one 6-2. Put the question in the chat, but I'm just wondering if y'all saw, if the folks who have joined, was it a button on the app or did you have to do it from the desktop? I'm getting a question about that. You got a 3-0 count. I'm sorry, 2-0 count. Shawver comes set. Pitch on the way, misses high. 3-0. Okay, so you have to go. That is weird. All right. So 3-0 count. Misses high, ball 4. So Shawver with a 4-run lead immediately walks the leadoff batter. Okay, so I guess you have to go to the YouTube site itself on, like, you know, your Safari or whatever if you're on an Apple product. I'll have to look and see if there's any way around that, but I didn't realize that only Apple products will do it. I mean, Apple products won't do it. The first pitch on the way to Trevino is high and inside for a ball. It's nope, called for a high strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 from Shawver, kicks and deals, swung on, grounded hard over towards the 5-6 hole. It's going to take a chopper into left field. One of those seeing eye choppers over the glove of the diving third baseman, Alvarez, and just past the glove of the outstretched arms of Velazquez. I mean, you couldn't throw it in a better spot. Okay, so once you do it from your desktop, you can do it. You can use it on your device. Okay. Well, that's good to know. I didn't realize that. I just figured I couldn't see it because I'm under my account, so I figured I wasn't able to see it because of that. So that is going to be it for A.J. Smith-Shawver. We got a pitching change. We'll introduce the new pitcher When we come back, the right-hander Halligan coming to the plate, or coming to the bump.
Hey, so to the guys that go to the gym every day for no reason at all, why?
Dad, teacher said we could be anything we wanted to be.
She wasn't talking to you, son. Go in the backyard and practice digging some holes.
While we all know the Muffin Man from the world-famous nursery rhyme, many don't know that it is based on a harrowing true story. Between 1589 and 1598, a man known as Frederick Thomas Linwood resided on Drury Lane in Victorian London. During his daily deliveries, he would lure children away from their homes by tying none other than, you guessed it, a muffin to a string, making him one of the first documented serial killers in history. As a result of Linwood terrorizing the streets of London, the nursery rhyme we all know today was created as a way to keep kids safe and raise awareness, and now is a prominent nursery rhyme that many don't know the dark origins behind.
Armchair.
Damn it, are you eating my egg?
Well, yeah, I got hungry. We never got our fish and chips.
You that was the only one in the nest.
Nest? What? Where'd you get this egg? And why are you going around stealing eggs from nests and trees?
Well, it wasn't in a tree, it was in a hole.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a rat's egg or something.
As he approached the record, Ripken quietly waged a solitary campaign to refill half-empty ballparks, one fan at a time.
He truly acted like an adult after the strike and saw what he could bring to the game in 1995, even at an enormous cost to himself. Signing autographs for hours and hours. I remember one night when, we came back up from interviewing and finished our stories. It's midnight now, and you look out, and there's still a line going all the way back up into the stands, and Cal is still signing autographs.
Welcome back to the game. Halligan throws the first pitch, and you're going to drop down a bunt, a pretty good, well-placed bunt. Halligan leaps off the mound, fires it over to first, and it's going to be an infield single. So bases loaded. Nobody out. Or I'm sorry, runners on the corners. First pitch on the way from Halligan. That ball is going to get dribbled up the middle, and it is down for a base hit, and a run will score at 6-3 Yankees. We'll get caught up here in 1 second. About two of my screens blipped out during the break, so we'll be back at it here in 1 second. It is 6-4 Yankees now as the second run came across. I thought their monitors were a little off. That'll bring Juan Soto to the plate, and Juan Soto steps into that one, and he hammers that over the wall, and just like that, the New York Yankees have taken a 7-6 lead. This has happened so fast, I thought I was seeing a highlight show. I'm starting to think this Hannigan guy isn't going to make the team. Oof. 112 miles an hour off the bat of Juan Soto has erased a decent start to an outing by A.J. Smith-Shawver. Man, he left that thing. He might as well put that thing on a tee. Mr. Hannigan most likely is going to walk back to Cool Today Park today. He doesn't want to get on that bus, man. Good night, Irene. Thankfully, this is spring training. First pitch from Hannigan that didn't get swatted is right there for a strike on the outer edge. It's 0-1. But try to give him an introduction because they're going to get the hook on this kid quick. The 0-1 pitch off the edge wide. 0-2. Patrick Hannigan, 6'6", 230-pounder, only 24 years old, from Virginia. Drafted by the Kansas City Royals back in 2021. Played college ball in Florida, though, at Pensacola State, Pensacola JUCO in Florida. The 0-2 pitch in the dirt, 1-2. He was signed to a minor league contract by the Braves last year in late March 2023. The 1-2 pitch misses high and out of the zone, 2-2. So definitely a project that the Braves grabbed up off the trash sheet, but at 6'6" to 24 years old, you would think this could be a kid that could do something down the road. The 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, 3-2. Tell you what, when you talk about betting lines and looking at possible MVPs preseason, and I know he's one of the favorites, but man, Juan Soto seems like an easy pick. The 2-2 pitch from Hannigan, swing and a miss. That was Grisham that came into the game. They still have Rizzo scheduled to come up to the plate, so we'll assume that he's going to stay in. Usually later in, when we get to this part of spring training, these home games, these guys stay a little longer, and Rizzo will come up. He takes a swing at the first pitch, dribbles it over to first, and stepping on the bag, making the out is Rizzo, 2 away. So 2 down, 5 across here in the inning. The first pitch on the way to Gleyber Torres is off the plate wide for a ball. It's 1-0. They keep re-showing that home run by Juan Soto. Man, that thing was a bomb. The 1-0 pitch, right there for a strike. It's 1-1. Pitch on the way. Misses high. 2-1. So a 2-1 count. Gleyber Torres digs in, comes set. Pitch well inside ball 3. Almost like a brushback pitch, but not something you would intentionally do at that stage. The 2-1. Or excuse me, 3-1. Down and away, ball 4. So the inning will continue. Hannigan heading down to first. Is Torres. I just know something on Torres, man. I'll tell you what, he might cause a pitch clock violation. He's got about 19 things he has to take off his arm before he runs down to first. First pitch on the way to Stanton is right there for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Outside wide, 2-0. So a 2-0 count. Yankees lead at 7-6. Braves had a 6-2 lead, but Hannigan, he won't be charged for all the runs, but he let 5 come across in this inning. The 2-0 misses outside, ball 3, 3-0. 3-0 count to Stanton. Verdugo would be next. Pitch on the way, outside, ball 4. So Stanton will head down to first. Torres will go from first to second. Murphy's going to come out there and talk to him. And it doesn't look like any of the pitching coaches are going out there. It looks like it's just going to be Murphy. They may not want to waste the time. Like, man, this dude ain't going to be here at the end of today. What? I don't care if I go out there and talk to him or not. So Alex Verdugo comes to the plate. He's 1 for 1 with a single, a walk, and RBI. First pitch on the way, well out of the zone high. Good Lord, it's 1-0. The 1-0. Swing and a miss, it's 1-2. So a 1-1, excuse me. So a 1-1 count. Pitch well out of the zone high. Ball 2-1. Nowhere near the plate. The 2-1. In the dirt. Good backhanded stop by Murph. Keep that from going to the backstop. Almost hit the batter. 3-1. You got a 3-1 count. Hannigan trying to get out of this mess. The pitch on the way. Swung on, grounded over to second. It's going to be an easy 4-6 putout to mercifully end the inning. But not before the New York Yankees take a 1-run lead at 7-6. We're heading to the 5th.
Can someone explain to me how 2 + 2 and 2 × 2 equal 4? Like they both, like what's the point in multiplication if it just means the same thing? Like,
what do you call when you can't drink milk?
Lactose intolerant.
Lactose and what?
Lactose intolerant. That's when you can't drink milk and stuff. That's how you say it.
Hey Braves country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves country baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball.
I just want to be clear. You're upset because we made friends with your cat?
You're unreasonable people. You're holding our cat. Go in your yard and say, go home. Don't come in our yard anymore.
She will not listen. She's a cat. She doesn't speak English. It's a cat, dude.
Really? Okay. All right. Well, we'll have the police department figure it out.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Great idea.
All right, you cat pervert.
I've done nothing to bring the cat. I've done nothing to bring the...
On September 6, 1995, 5 months after the strike had ended, the Orioles faced the California Angels in Baltimore. Tickets for this game had been sold out for months. After 4.5 innings of play, the game was official. Cal Ripken had played in 2,131 consecutive games.
For the moment you've been waiting for.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Michael Harris II will lead this one off. First pitch on the way, lefty-lefty matchup. Swung on and grounded, foul down the first base line. It's 0-1. Michael Harris II leading off with Ronald Acuna Jr. on the shelf, but he has been practicing on the backfield and played a simulated game yesterday. Lefty-lefty matchup. Pitch on the way. Outside wide 1-1. What I'm hearing is that we may in fact see him by next weekend. The 1-1 pitch. Kicks and fires. Swing and misses up high. It's 1-2. So the 1-2 count. Ferguson comes set. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Man, a nasty slider off the edge. He had Harris fishing without a pole, and there's one away. So that'll bring Fletcher to the plate, lefty-righty matchup. The southpaw kicks and deals. Pitch right down the pipe for a strike. It's 0-1. Yankees 7, Braves 6. Top of the 5th inning. The 1-0. Right there at the knees. Good pitch. 1-1. One of those darting fastballs that kind of handcuffs you. The 1-1. Lets her go. Swung on and fouled down the right field line. Just bending fair. We'll do foul, excuse me. We'll do it again. It's 1-2. Good ride, but very late on that pitch. The 1-2 pitch swung on. That ball's lifted high and deep into right field. Drifting back, making the catch is Juan Soto for out number 2. I think a lot of folks forget how much they hate the Yankees until a guy like Juan Soto gets there. You go, man, they got Soto, they got Judge, Stanton, Garrett Cole. These are the Yankees everybody loves to hate. First pitch on the way to Kelenic. He's going to face that tough lefty. Gets an outside strike up high. He did not like that call. It's 0-1. Kelenic 1-for-1 with a single, a walk and run. He did get doubled off of first on a boneheaded base running blunder, but all in all, much better day. Just got to get this kid going, give him some, because you know he's pressing. The 0-1 pitch right there at the knees. A teardrop just over the caps. It's 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Pitch on the way. Did he get him? They're going to check down the line. He did not. 1-2. They wanted that call, but no dice. The 1-2 to Kelenic. Southpaw lets her fly. Caught. Looking strike 3. Can't watch that one as well. And Kelnic's going to argue with the umps, but he won't win that one. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
I may not be famous, and I may not be a beauty queen. That's it. That's all.
This is the career of Denton Young. People who witnessed his fastball destroy fences said it looked like a cyclone hit it, and that's how he got the nickname Cy. Because he threw so hard, one of his battery mates named Charles Zimmer used to put a beefsteak inside of his glove to protect his catching hand. He was a workhorse. On the last day of his rookie season, he pitched both games of a doubleheader, and not surprisingly, won both of them. They say he is one of the reasons they changed the distance from the mound to home plate in 1893. Around 1895, he developed a pitch called a slow ball to help reduce the stress on his arm. If you're wondering what a slow ball is, look no further than the changeup. In 1902, he joined the Boston Americans of the American League. How did he fare? Pretty good, considering he won almost 42% of his team's games in his first season with the team. Threw the first perfect game in American League history against the Philadelphia Athletics. He still holds the record for the most consecutive innings without allowing a hit. 25 1/3 innings, or 76 hitless batters. In 1911, he retired at the age of 44. His 749 complete games and 511 wins will never be broken.
Armchair.
Hey, could somebody explain to me what's the use of having health insurance when all we do is pay a bunch of money every month in case something happens, but when something does happen, we have to pay a bunch more?
0-2 pitch. Fastball blown away.
When you watched Pedro, it was almost poignant in a way that someone that small could throw that hard. Most great pitchers, you look at them and they all have one great strikeout pitch. If the count's 0-2 or if he even counts 3-2, he always has one place to go to get you out. Well, Pedro Martinez had 3 places to get you out. It was the fastball, it was the changeup, and it was the curveball. They were all the best pitches of their kind in baseball at the time. And he could put them anywhere that he wanted.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Atlanta Braves will bring in another pitcher. We are familiar with this young man. Dylan Lee comes to the mound, and he fires the first pitch inside for a ball. It's 1-0. Dylan Lee working his way back. Had a couple of minor setbacks during the offseason, but all in all, he's in the mix to make that bullpen on opening day. I don't think we'll get him there. I think he'll probably start just outside the big league roster, but we'll definitely need him at some point. The 1-1 pitch from Lee. Pitch on the way, swung on, and that ball is laced high and deep down the line. Is it fair? It is gone. It curled just inside the left field foul pole for what is a moonshot. We don't get the stat track during spring training, but my guess is it probably cleared the left field corner wall by about 10, 15 feet, but it was a high one. So the Bronx Bombers hit another one. I mean, that was just a hanger. He kind of did a Yastrzemski type move where he's kind of willing it to stay fair. Not quite as animated, but you get the point. First pitch on the way to Cabrera, misses for a ball. It's 1-0. Lefty-lefty matchup. The 1-0 from Lee. High and inside. Little chin music. It's 2-0. So a 2-0 count. Lee lets her go. Fastball just grabs the top of the zone, top shelf. 2-1. Cabrera didn't like it, but that was definitely a spring training called strike. The 2-1 pitch. Swung on. That ball's lifted high into center field coming in. Not being able to make the catch. It's going to drop in front of Michael Harris the second. And there's one on, nobody out. Kind of golfed it off the end of his bat. Harris was playing him pretty deep. That's going to flip the lineup back over, and DJ LeMahieu coming to the plate. First pitch. It looks like that they have pinch hit for him. I was wondering when they were going to start that. Kevin Smith is in for LeMahieu, and he takes the first pitch up out wide for a ball. It's 1-0. Kevin Smith batted 185 last year with 5 home runs. This is the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-1. The 1-1. Lee looking back the runner. Lets her go. Swing and a miss on the outer edge. It's 1-2. Yankees 8, Braves 6. Bottom of the 5th. The 1-2 pitch misses high and out of the zone. Fastball. 2-2. So a 2-2 count. Yankees lead by 2. Deuce is wild here in the bottom of the 5th. The pitch on the way. Swung on, hit hard on the ground, but it's an atom ball. It's going to be a 5-4-3 double play. Good scoop and a flip from Nacho Alvarez to Fletcher to Williams. There's 2 down, nobody on. First pitch on the way to Gonzalez is swung on, foul back out of play. It's 0-1. Gonzalez coming in. and giving Juan Soto a seat. The 0-1 pitch swung on, lifted high and deep into center field. Off the wall. Harris tried to make a leaping catch, misplayed it. It's going to go off the wall, and all the way around for a triple goes Oscar Gonzalez. Oscar Gonzalez golfed that ball, and the wind is blowing from left to center, so that may have been why Harris had a hard time tracking it. Just went over his outreach glove as it bent over his head. It's a pretty strong wind that's now blowing left to right. First pitch on the way to Trent Grisham. Remember him from the San Diego Padres. It's high and inside for a ball. It's 1-0. Grisham started with Milwaukee in 2017 and then played for the Padres from 2020 to 2023. The 1-0 pitch misses high, 2-0. So a 2-0 count. Lefty. Pitch just inside for a strike, 2-1. Grisham giving kind of a scowl back to the home plate umpire. If any of you fantasy baseball folks out there, we will be putting out a fantasy baseball cheat sheet for the members. Should have it up by next weekend. The 1-2 pitch, or 2-1 pitch, excuse me. Swing and a miss over the top. It's 2-2. So a 2-2 count, 2 sliders in a row. The pitch on the way. Caught, looking, strike 3. He went slider to end the inning. Grisham is asking home plate umpire about that pitch. He said, buddy, I'm not sure if you're going to be a Yankee. We'll be back in a flash.
I'm only calling your phone 32 times and that's it. Boy, I'm not about to chase you.
The 1906 Chicago Cubs, the 2001 Seattle Mariners, the 1998 New York Yankees are some of the greatest teams of all time. But what about the 1980 Denver Bears? That team won 92 games and finished 21 and a half games ahead of the next closest team. They were an offensive juggernaut, averaging 6.36 runs per game. On top of that, they led the league in home runs, doubles, hits, and OPS. That's not all. They also were a menace on the base pass, finishing second in stolen bases with 143 and second in triples with 47. Man, they could fly. You may be asking yourself, what about their pitching? Their 3.87 ERA and 740 strikeouts were second in the league, and their 14 shutouts were tops in the league. They were hard to beat at home. At one point, they won 21 straight games at home. One of the stars of their team was a 20-year-old Tim Raines, who finished with a .354 batting average to go along with his 11 triples and 77 stolen bases. His teammates Tim Wallach and Randy Bass would also contribute, hitting a combined 73 home runs and driving in a combined 267 runs. 24 of the 29 players on that team would wind up playing in the major leagues. That group combined for 13 All-Star appearances, 3 Gold Gloves, and 3 Silver Sluggers. This team has got to go down as one of the best teams in minor league history.
Booby trap spelled backwards is party boob.
10 Japanese pitchers had already come to the United States, but no Japanese position player had ever appeared in the majors. Then in 2000, the Japanese-owned Seattle Mariners decided to sign him anyway, hoping Ichiro would attract a large following among Asian Americans living in the Pacific Northwest.
What's up, Braves country? Looking forward to a great Atlanta Braves season. See y'all at the ballpark. Love you.
Welcome back. It is hard to believe, y'all, but a week from Wednesday, real baseball games. Albeit it'll be in Seoul, Korea, and it's the Dodgers and Padres, but man, it's moving fast this offseason. First pitch on the way to Sean Murphy is swung on and lined right back over the head of the pitcher, but it's going to be an atom ball. Second baseman Kevin Smith makes the catch. There's one away. Righty-righty matchup. As Nacho Alvarez digs into the box. 93-mile-an-hour pitch. Right there for a strike, it's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch swung on, lifted high. Not very deep. The wind's going to push that one way back. Fighting the wind is Everson Pereira. He'll make the catch 2 away. The first pitch on the way to Forrest Wall is down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. Braves led this one over the Yankees 6-2. The 1-0 pitch floats right there for a strike. It's 1-1. AJ Smith-Shawver left a couple of runners on. He left, and the bullpen is just getting pounded. The one pitch drifts outside wide, 2-1. The 2-1 digs and deals. Swing. Pops it up. High and out of play. We'll do it again. It's 2-2. So a 2-2 count to Forrest Wall. He, by the way, is hitting .450 this spring and a 14.22 OPS. You got to figure he's making a strong case to make the squad. The 2-2, off speed inside, dropped by the hind catcher. It's 3-2. I'm really torn on whether or not I want Forrest Wall just sitting on the bench not getting at bats all year long. But, man, he's making the case where he may not have anything left to prove down on the farm. The 3-2 pitch swung on, taps that foul off the plate. We'll do it again. I was envisioning a scenario that Forrest Wall would go back down on the farm and Eli White, because he's a right-hander, would end up riding the pine on the big league bench because he's basically a right-handed version of Wall. As the 3-2 is fouled back out of play. And not that Eli White's had a bad spring, but, man, Forrest Wall has just looked good. Every facet, he's played outstanding defensively. As long as he'll still get his work and still be productive when we need him, I think make a hard case to keep him off the team. Plus, if he ever gets a stolen base here this spring, we've got a new clip for him. So I want to play that. I thought we were going to get to play it earlier today, but he got caught stealing. But there's one specifically made for him. The 3-2 pitch, 2 outs, Forrest Wall. Pitch on the way inside, ball 4. So maybe we'll get a chance to hear it if Forrest Wall can get himself. Heck, even if he scores, even if he gets a stolen base, we will play it. Righty-righty matchup. Williams takes the first pitch and hacks it back behind home plate. It's 0-1. Yankees 8, Braves 6. 2 outs. Marinaccio fires it over to first to keep Forrest Wall at bay. He's trying to get that stolen base for sure. The 0-1. Comes set, lets her go. And he is gone. Is he in? He is in. Here we go, baby.
Run, Forrest, run! Run, Forrest!
sure is a running fool.
That's the main reason why I'd like to see him make the team. The 0-2 pitch. Swung on and bangs that down the third base line. We'll do it again. So an 0-2 count. Luke Williams trying to find a way to get Force into that, onto the board. Tell you one thing, it's not a good sign for Force while he's wearing that number 73. Anytime you got one of those goofy high numbers, you probably don't make the team. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike three. Luke Williams failed to get him in. So Force gets on but fails to score. We'll be back in a flash, heading to the bottom of the sixth. Braves trail by 2.
I'm going to say no one's better than me, but I just, him playing in his 7th Super Bowl.
The most prolific and pure passing quarterback that this generation has ever seen.
Dan Marino, and it's always been Dan Marino.
But Marino, if you look at the stats, dude, his first season, 48 touchdowns in that era.
Back in,
dude,
what,
best
70s?
best quarterback
80s?
season in history. I don't care what anyone says,
That's
dude.
crazy.
Like, every single time that I've been putting up and breaking these records, it's like Dan Marino had 170 touchdowns in 3 years. I'm like, what? I thought they ran the ball back then.
It's hard to pick one, but I just think one of the guys I've seen play the best in that position that didn't get his due was Dan. I mean, you put Danny in here today with some of the size of these receivers and his ability to get the ball out of his hand and how accurate he was.
Not going to see quarterbacks like Dan Marino ever again.
Armchair.
Hey, does anybody else have to defrost when they first wake up before they start talking to people because they'd be mad as hell for no apparent reason for the first few minutes? Or is it just me?
In an era filled with home runs, Ichiro was a revelation, slapping the ball in every direction, beating out infield hits, flying around the bases.
Because this was in the midst of a bludgeon ball era in baseball, and here's this wiry little guy spraying base hits everywhere, beating out infield choppers, playing this sort of cerebral game. Was so different from the prevailing culture of the sport that I think it made it even more appealing.
Japanese newspapers and television stations dispatched hundreds of reporters to send back news of his every move to a nation eager for any information about their hero. Ichiro, his prime minister declared, makes me proud to be Japanese.
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back, Braves Country. Jackson Stevens will take the mound. He's been one of my favorite players over the last few years. I'm really pulling for him. First pitch on the way from Jackson is high and out of the zone. It's 1-0. I remember when he was hurt and they had some interviews with him. He's a big college football fan. The 1-0 pitch, swung on and bangs that hard down the line. 1-1. So he grew up in the state of Alabama, so no big shock there that college football would be a big thing for him. But the 1-1 pitch, outside wide, 2-1. Great to hear from you, Isaac. The 2-1 pitch. Swing and pops it up. Well, that's going to bend out of play. 2-2. So a 2-2 count. Nobody on. Yankees lead at 8-6, bottom of the sixth. Stevens lets her fly. The pitch is going to be swung on and just corkscrewed into center field, down for a base hit. We got some substitutions to tell you about. Michael Harris no longer in the game. So making that defensive play is Kilpatrick. He and Baldwin. So Kilpatrick's taken over for Harris. Baldwin is now behind the plate for Murphy. Those are the only two substitutions so far for the Braves outside of the pitching. First pitch on the way from Stevens to Yorbit Vivas. It's right there for a strike. It's 0-1. Vivas in AAA last year batted .269 in 139 games, 13 home runs and a .788 OPS. If y'all missed it earlier, we do now have a membership and some perks that go along with it. We're going to continue to grow those perks. We just wanted to get it live before the season got going. Didn't realize that. So go. You're the one. You're one of the folks that brought it up to me during the off season, and I think you brought it up again the other day as the 0-2 pitch misses high 1-2. I did not realize that you can turn off and on the comments for members only, which, as everybody knows, could be a good tool to have when some of the freak shows come in here that we get. The 2-2 inside, or the 1-2 inside, misses 2-2. So a 2-2 count. Stevens lets her go, swung on, banged on the ground, hard to first. We're going to get a 3-6, trying to make it 3 double play, but Williams was nowhere near the bag. That was a weird. I think he thought he was standing on first, and I kid you not, y'all. If you're not looking at it, he was like 5 feet away from the bag. So he gets it, flips it over to first. They fire it back down to him, and he looks down and realizes his foot is nowhere near first base. I think when he scooped it, he thought he was standing right next to the bag, but he was well off the bag. I have not seen a first baseman be that far off on a double play attempt. So that'll give Stanton. He takes the first pitch for a strike. It's 0-1. Giancarlo Stanton digs in. Pitch on the way. It's right there at the knees for a strike. 0-2. If you're looking at your screen at home, they've got Stanton sitting there at 0-2, but he's not. He's 1 for 2. He had a double in his first at bat. .02 fouled off. We'll do it again. So an 0-2 count. Now they've cleaned it up. An 0-2 count to Stanton. Righty-righty matchup. Jackson Stevens lifts his glove, looks and fires it towards the plate, high and out of the zone 1-2, almost in pitch-out territory. The runner left on the previous pitch that was fouled back had a pretty decent jump, so now he's got the attention of Baldwin. Baldwin had a pretty good throw down to second base earlier in the spring. The Braves are pretty high on his ability going forward. The 1-2 pitch in the dirt. Good block by Baldwin. So a 2-2 count. Stevens looks into Baldwin, turns around and flips it over to first, trying to catch the runner napping. Drake Baldwin, that's behind the plate now, he is just 22 years old, out of Madison, Wisconsin. The 2-2 pitch swung on, and that ball is going to be lifted into left field just over the head of the third baseman. It's going to get down for a single. The runner at first is going to go all the way to third. Yorbit Vivas, really good hustle on that one. Giancarlo Stanton had a lot of topspin on that swing. And I believe it just tipped off the glove of Nacho Alvarez. He leaped for it. It looked like he might have just gotten a small piece of it. So that'll bring up Pereira to the plate. He takes a swing at the first pitch and pops it up in foul territory behind the plate, but it will drift out of play. It's 0-1. I still can't believe how far off the bag Luke Williams was on that double play. I mean, there's neighborhood play, and I mean, that dude was nowhere. That guy wasn't even in the freaking zip code. The 0-1 pitch, bangs it foul down the line. It's 0-2. They do any kind of spring training blooper reels, that's going to be tops up there. So an 0-2 count. Now, in Luke Williams' defense, he normally does not play first base. He's normally a third baseman down on the farm. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike three. He got him. The bender outside the zone came out of his shoes, could not make contact. There's 2 away. So runners on the corners, 2 outs. Drake Baldwin, by the way, was drafted by the Braves in the 3rd round in 2022. Who's behind home plate right now. First pitch from Stevens, a beauty. A teardrop curveball right there at the kneecaps. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Rocks and fires. Fastball. Top shelf. Outer edge. It's 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Comes set, lets her fly. Swing and rifles that out of play. We'll do it again. Jackson Stevens, by the way, has a 3.38 ERA this spring. If you missed Shawver, the SSAJ went 3 innings, 4 runs, 7 hits, 3 strikeouts. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike three. Blew it right by him up top. Yak him, and that'll end the inning. So the Braves keep it right there at 8-6. We'll head to the 7th inning. Be back in a flash.
God gives the hardest battles to his strongest soldiers. When did I sign up for the war? When did I enlist?
Facebook just killed me. Dear Santa, I am writing this on the day after Xmas, and I am very sad. I only received one of the 2 presents I asked for. Since you ate my cookies, I will assume that my missing gift was a mistake. I will give you 1 week to fix this, Jeremy. Dear Jeremy, I am sorry you are disappointed with your presents. You asked for 2 very expensive presents, and Santa can only do so much. You need to learn to be grateful for what you have, not upset about what you don't. If you continue to complain, I will have no choice but to add you to the naughty list next year, Santa. Dear Fatty, your threats don't scare me. I played your game and you did not deliver. This is not okay. I will give you 1 week and then you will pay. Jeremy. P.S. I don't know why you care that it's expensive when you have elf slaves to make things for you. I think you are naughty for having slaves. Period, Jeremy.
Ichiro finished his first season, leading the American League in at-bats, hits, batting average, and stolen bases, won a Gold Glove Award, and was voted Rookie of the Year and MVP. It would be his first of 9 consecutive 200-hit seasons, breaking a record set by Wee Willie Keeler a century earlier in 1901. Other big league clubs were now eager to sign the next Ichiro.
That's a great thing about globalization, that people can take this thing that you played with and invented, and maybe to some degree spoiled with whatever's going on here, and it can go to an entirely different place and be recreated and regrown as if it's a hybrid flower of some kind, and then come back and show you the game maybe in a different way, and maybe in a way it used to be that you hadn't thought of in a long time.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Liberato will stand in righty-lefty matchup. Marinaccio going back out there for another inning. His 17th pitch of his outing is on the way. It swung on and fouled back out of play. It's 0-1. Liberato, 167 average this spring. The 0-1 down and in, 1-1. Liberato's had some hard hit balls this spring. He gives you some good indication that if there was any kind of a minor injury, he may be able to fill a decent role as well. Obviously, Wall and White would be tops of the board, but it's a long 162 game season. The 1-1 pitch inside 2-1. So a 2-1 count. Marinaccio comes set, pitch on the way, swung on, pops it up. Will it stay in play? It's bending in foul territory. Fighting the sun, making the catch is Josh Van Meter. One down. Yeah, Robert, I'm ready for opening day too. It's going to be here before you know it. I mean, you've got the college basketball conference tournament starting this week, so that's going to fill some void. We are doing Saturday's breakout game. Looking forward to that. First pitch on the way to Velasquez, the number 9 hitter. He takes it outside up high for a strike. It's 0-1. Saturday's game is going to be between Atlanta Braves and the Boston Red Sox. The 0-1 pitch misses high, 1-1. If you haven't seen what this is all about, I think it's a pretty cool concept. So from the 14th, so I guess that's Thursday, to the 16th on Saturday, every Major League Baseball team will have one breakout game. Ours is Saturday. Is the 1-1 pitch, misses high, 2-1. And in that breakout game, you will see our top prospects versus Boston's top prospects. Everybody's top prospects are going to play, and they're the only ones that play in that breakout game. The 2-1, right there at the knees. Called for a strikeout wide. It's 2-2. March Madness is here. You got conference tournaments already playing, and the Power Fives start on Wednesday. The 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 3 up top, 2 down. Marinaccio bringing the heat. 95 miles an hour on the top shelf. Looked like he chased one out of the zone. That'll bring Kilpatrick to the plate. Kilpatrick takes the first pitch right there for a strike. Forcing fastball. It's 0-1. Kevin Kilpatrick, 23-year-old from Stone Mountain, Georgia. Drafted by the Braves in 2022 out of Central Florida. The 0-1 pitch is swung on and belted high and deep. Going back on the track. A mighty smack over the track. It's gone, baby. A solo shot, and your Atlanta Braves have cut this lead to just 1. They tell you hit them where they ain't. Well, they ain't over the wall. And it's 8-7, Atlanta within 1. That'll bring David Fletcher to the plate. Fletcher, a walk in the first, scored a run. He's hitting .375 in his own right this spring. I think he's going to make the team. Pitch on the way, backhanded, flip, 4-3 put out will end the inning, but not before your Atlanta Braves put 1 on the board. It is time for the 7th inning stretch, y'all. Get up and stretch, Braves country.
with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back. Let me through.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Here on Braves Country Radio, please like and subscribe. And if you haven't joined the membership, we just started that today. Evidently, if you're on an Apple phone, you have to go on a desktop or laptop version. Or from my understanding, someone told me that you can actually go into your browser on your phone, but you just can't do it on the app on YouTube on Apple products. Goat was saying it was because of a dispute. Isn't it always follow the money? Follow the money. They'll fight over anything, won't they? Apple and Google. No, Robert, I'm too busy getting ready for baseball to stream any March Madness games. I mean, I'm going to be watching them in my office, but I'll be getting ready for the regular season. I work 3 other jobs outside of this. So every little bit that I get, I try to get ready for the baseball season. All those clips and everything that you hear, that's what I do on my downtime. Those things take a lot longer than I remembered. We started putting the new ones together. I was like, good Lord. There's some days I've been here 5-6 hours and can only get a handful done. First pitch on the way to Josh Van Meter is fouled, tip back out of play. It's 0-1. Righty-lefty matchup. Fastball just misses top of the zone, 1-1. Jackson Stevens is back out there. Wasn't sure if he was going to get more than one inning or not, but he is. The 1-1. High and out of the zone, 2-1. Stevens at 25 pitches. So he may not go the whole inning, but we'll see how far of a leash he has. The 1-1. Rocks and fires right there at the knees, 2-2. Good pitch by Stevens. That was a pretty changeup. The 2-2. Jackson looks in. Lets her go. Way outside wide. Curveball misses. 3-2. So a full count. There have been a couple of substitutions. We'll get to those here in 1 second as Delgado came in for Stanton. The full count misses inside, ball 4. Van Meter was on for the shortstop Cabrera. He's listed as a third baseman. We'll see how they do that. Kevin Smith on for DJ LeMahieu. He is 0 for 1 for the day. Righty. First pitch on the way. Right there for a strike up top. It's 0-1. You'll see many more substitutions from the home teams than the away teams because you don't carry that many people with you to the away games. The 0-1 pitch swung on, foul back out of play. It's 0-2. As far as the Braves go, Dean has come in to play right field. Ogans has come in for Nacho Alvarez to play third base. Horn is at first base for Luke Williams. Probably had something to do with that anti-toe tap that he did. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike three. Blew it right by him on the outer edge. There's one away. Tavares is in for Velasquez at shortstop. And Conley is in for Kelnick at second base. So for Fletcher at second base. So the only starters that are still in the game, Kelnick is still in the game. As the first pitch on the way to Oscar Gonzalez is right there for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 runner goes. Throw is down to second. Good snap and throw, but the tag was high and might have been a touch late. Yeah, he just got in underneath it. Stolen base. Pitch missed the zone. It's 1-1. Pretty good release by Baldwin. An accurate throw. They talk about him having a really good release. But he got a running start. I mean, he got one heck of a jump. Stevens was not paying attention to him one bit. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Four-seam fastball up top. Blew it right by him. He's only hitting the gun at about 91, 92, but he's setting it up with that off-speed stuff, and it's keeping him guessing. The 1-2. Swung on, chopped foul down the third base line. We'll do it again. So a 1-2 count. Runner at second, one out. Bottom of the seventh. The pitch on the way from Stevens. Swung on, and that ball is hammered deep into left field, off the wall, retrieving it and getting it back into the infield is Kelnick, and it'll be an RBI double for Oscar Gonzalez and the New York Yankees. The lead is now 9-7. Looks like we're going to get a pitching change. That'll do it for Jackson Stevens. We'll be back in a flash, Braves country. Atlanta Braves, pitching change. It'll be Zach Logg coming into the game. First pitch on the way is inside from the left-hander. Misses for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Lefty-lefty matchup versus Grisham. Right there at the knees for a strike. It's 1-1. The 1-1, runner on second, one out, pitch on the way. Right there. Man, that looked like a strike. Did not get the call on the inner cut. It's 2-1. Zach Logg, may remember him with the Detroit Tigers. Pitched 11 innings last year with Detroit with a 7.36 ERA. The 2-1 pitch, swung on, chopped off the first base side. It will stay fair. Tapping first base and recording the out for out number 2. Bryson Horn. On the play, the runner, Oscar Gonzalez, trots on down to third. So 90 feet away, but there are 2 outs. Another lefty-lefty matchup. Pitch on the way to Rojas. Misses down out of the zone. It's 1-0. Zach Logg played his college ball at the University of Kentucky. He was drafted by the Blue Jays in 2017. He's from Mason, Ohio. The 1-0. Down and away 2-0. You got to figure there's a pretty good chance that he grew up a Braves fan. Mason, Ohio. I mean, you could be a Reds, could be a Indians fan, but you're right there in Braves country. The 2-0 pitch. Fastball misses high and inside, 3-0. He played for Oakland in 2022, threw 3 innings there and threw 5 innings for Detroit in 2023. The 3-0 pitch, inside, ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk. Runners on the corners. There are 2 outs. And coming to the plate for the New York Yankees, another left-hander. The shortstop, Vivas. Pitch on the way to Vivas. A fastball right down the pipe. Taken for a strike, it's 0-1. Yorbit Vivas, 23 years old, out of Venezuela. Played for the Dodgers sparingly in 2022 and 2023. Total of 19 games. The 0-1 pitch, right there for a strike, it's 0-2. The 0-2 pitch, down and away. 1-2. Tried to get him to chase that slider. So a 1-2 count. Delgado stands on deck. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. The pitch on the way. Slider outside wide, 2-2. So he's gone slider, slider. And you got to figure now he may be coming back with the fastball. Vivas might be thinking the same thing. The 2-2 pitch. Change up, misses high. 3-2. Not much of a difference between his fastball and his changeup in speed. About a 2-mile-an-hour difference. You got to make a much bigger difference than that if you want to get to the bigs. The 3-2 pitch. Swung on. Lace foul down the first base line. Hard hit slider that was ripped just in front of the first base dugout. So the runner at first will be on the move again. We got runners on the corners, 2 outs. 9-7 your score, bottom of the 7th. Braves, Yankees. The pitch on the way. Swing, and fouls that back. That'll get out of play. We'll do it again. Braves currently in the spring training season are 7-6. The Yankees are 5-9. And though you don't really pay attention to records in spring training, you do like to see your team get some wins. You don't want them scuffling heading towards the 3-2 pitch. Inside, hits him on the calf. Believe that was the slider. It missed well inside, and that'll load the bases. So bases loaded. Zach Logg will be left in to face Torrens. Torrens takes a swing at the first pitch and bangs it foul down the third base line. It's 0-1. Torrens is in for Delgado, so you got a lefty-righty matchup. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Popped the fastball right by him. The 0-2 pitch. Log comes set. Lets her go. Swung on and missed. No, just got a piece of it. Taps it off the plate. Stay alive. It's 0-2. The 0-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled straight back. Reached for one that might have been a touch out of the zone. We'll do it again. Luis Torrens, the batter, 27-year-old out of Venezuela. Played for the Padres, Seattle, and the Cubs since 2017. The 0-2 pitch, high and out of the zone, 1-2. Zach Logg has a delivery. It's very similar to Dylan Lee. So a 1-2 count, bases juice, 2 outs. Pitch fires it, swung on. That ball is laced into the glove softly, making the catch. It'll be an L6 play made by Ambrose Tavares, and that'll end the inning. So it's 9-7. We head to the top of the 8th inning. Braves trying to squeeze this one out and come from behind.
What do you think, therapy?
Ruby, what do you want?
Hamburger?
Hamburger?
French fries?
French fries?
Salt.
Fart. Ruby!
Dear Jeremy, you are being a very bad little boy because you cannot be happy with what you have. I have talked to your parents and told them to take away your Wii U. Wow. Now you have nothing. Once you learn to be grateful, perhaps you can have it back. I am very disappointed in you, Jeremy. You will need to be an extra good boy this year if you want to make it back on the nice list. Dear Santa, I do not like that stunt you pulled my pants. You are on my naughty list. Now be afraid. Enjoy your cookies next year. Jeremy was not playing.
I have still 2 gloves that I've carded across all the years, and I have them for a purpose. One selfish.
Welcome back. Atlanta Braves, New York Yankees heading to the top of the 8th inning. Yankees lead at 9-7. The Braves will be sending Kelenic back out there. He is 1 for 2 with the walk today. Baldwin and Ogans, who's in for Nacho Alvarez. Baldwin, who is in for Murphy. First pitch on the way to Kelenic is a swing and a miss. Over the top, it's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch, called for a strike. About letter high. Kelenic does not like it. It's 0-2. Braves 7 runs, 8 hits, no errors. Yankees 9 runs, 16 hits, no errors. You're just joining us. A.J. Smith-Shawver got the start, and then most of the other guys, we can't expect them to be with the big club on opening day. The 0-2 misses. It's 1-2. The 1-2 from Tully, the left-hander lets her go, swung on and bangs that foul back behind the plate. We'll do it again. The 1-2. Kicks and deals in the dirt, 2-2. The 2-2 on the way, swung on, lifted high, not very deep, shallow right center field, coming in, making the catch. Right fielder, and there's one away. Out of the bullpen today for the Braves, it was Halligan, who got absolutely just demolished. Dylan Lee, he had some struggles in his own right, but he's coming back from injury, and he's started his spring a little late. Jackson Stevens and then Zach Logg. First pitch on the way to Baldwin. Right there for a strike. Down low, it's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch, Tully lets her go. Just inside 1-1. Good take by Baldwin. That was a close one. Baldwin's the heir apparent to become the catcher for the Braves, possibly as early as maybe even next year if Travis d'Arnaud hangs him up like a lot of folks believe, and be the backup catcher. Could be Chadwick Tromp as well. The 1-2 pitch, swung on. High, Baltimore chopper. Flips it over to first. Coming in, making the play is second baseman Kevin Smith. He'll get Baldwin by about a step or so. One away. It was a high chopper, but didn't have a lot of, or had a lot of spin, so it came down pretty quickly. Top of the 8th, nobody on. Braves trail 9-7. The pitch on the way. Misses up high. It's 0-1. The third baseman, Kashawn Ogans. Lefty-righty matchup. It's the 0-1 up top. It's 1-1. Ogans, 22 years old. The 1-1 pitch, swung on, fouled back. It's 1-2. He is from San Francisco, California. Played his college ball at Cal. Was drafted by the Braves in the 20th round in 2022. The 1-2 pitch, down and in, 2-2. Remember the MLB draft used to be about 60 rounds. They've cut it down to, I believe it's 20 now. Pitch on the way, swung on and laced into left field, and that's going to get down for a base hit. So 1 on, 2 outs. Tying run coming to the plate. Lefty-righty matchup, swung on, chopped over to third. It's going to be a 5-4 put out. That was a close one. Surprised he didn't go across the diamond, but that'll end the inning. So the Braves put one on but fail to score. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th. It's getting late early. We'll be back in a flash.
Call a business owned by a broad and ask to speak to the man in charge. Be a man.
There was 1,000 Brits and 1,000 Americans. Who do you think would win in a fight?
I can't believe I'm about to say this as a Brit, but I've got to be honest. The question there was who would win in a fight between America and the UK. Yeah, the UK doesn't stand a chance. I'm a Brit in America. I have been around Americans. I've spent many months in America, right? What are we going to do with our little butter knives? Nothing. The Americans would simply look at the Brits and say, let's go. Yeah, the Brits would turn up with their marmalade sandwiches, Paddington Bear, and their butter knives. What are the Brits going to do? This fight has already happened between the Brits and America. Yeah. And they won with farmers and pitchforks. What makes you think us Brits, yeah, tally-ho, are going to turn up and win? I'm sorry, it hurts me to say it as a Brit, but I've been around Americans. I understand how Americans are, yeah? It ain't happening. It's game over for the Brits, mate. It's done. See you later, King Charles. See you later, pal.
It crashed into the top of the tower.
I woke up the morning of September 11th. I had an appearance in Manhattan, waiting for a car service to pick me up. My phone rings. It's the car service saying, you still going? I said, yeah, why? I hadn't turned the TV on. He said, well, a plane flew into the World Trade Center. Well, I turned on the TV, and then the second plane hit the World Trade Center.
The tragedy was too great to comprehend. The country was in shock. No one knew what was going to happen next. Planes were grounded. Schools and businesses were closed. The financial markets shut down. Major League Baseball canceled all games indefinitely.
Welcome back. Braves country. Atlanta Braves trail it 9-7. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th. Zach Logg will come back out there. The first pitch is on the way. It kind of takes a funny bounce, a weird spin, high chop over to third, and a good defensive play by Kashawn Ogans to stay with that. Flips it over to first, 5-3 put out, and there's one away. That ball took a left turn towards Albuquerque, and he stuck with it. Pretty impressive because it had that reaction. If you're just listening on radio, that it's kind of like if you're sitting there on the couch or something, and someone throws something at you real quick, you're not expecting it. It was that kind of thing. First pitch on the way from Log to Narvaez is swung on. That ball is belted high and just going to stay in the park. It's off the wall. It's going to be a one-out double. That'll bring Van Meter to the plate. The Yankees, another base hit, 17 on the day. First pitch on the way from Log to Van Meter, lefty-lefty matchup. Down and away for a ball, it's 1-0. And something that these producers have just never figured out with the spring training games, the 1-0 pitch, down and away 2-0. You can have your little interviews with the players, but man, keep the screen on the game. Nobody needs to see a close-up of Giancarlo Stanton while there's a game going on. The 2-0 pitch lets her fly. Look like it. Yep, he grabbed the strike zone. It's 2-1. So he's going slider, and they're calling it a changeup, but I think it's realistically his fastball. It sits right about 90 miles an hour. The 2-1 pitch swung on, fisted foul down the first base side. We'll do it again. Yanks 9, Braves 7. Total of 26 hits and 16 runs scored today. The big one, if you're just joining us, Juan Soto hit a blast in the right field bleachers that still hasn't come down. I think that ball might have actually went off the foot of Van Meter. The 2-2 pitch on the way. Does not get the call. Full count, 3-2. So a 3-2 count. Runner at second. One down. Top of the lineup about to flip over. The pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got the gas on the outer edge. 2 away. 31 pitches for Log. So we're just 10 days away from the opening series of Major League Baseball. And then the Braves themselves are just 18 days away from opening day. First pitch on the way to Kevin Smith is a swing and a chop foul off the plate. It's 0-1. Lefty-righty matchup. The 0-1 pitch down and in. Almost gets his back foot. 1-1. They're calling it a sinker that gets up around 91 miles an hour, but it's really a two-seamer. The 1-1 pitch. High and out of the zone. 2-1. Got a 2-1 count. Runner at second, 2 outs. The pitch. Just misses inside, ball 3. Standing on deck is Oscar Gonzalez. He's already 2 for 2. Yanks 9, Braves 7. Bottom of the 8th. The pitch on the way. Inside, misses high, ball 4. So a 5-pitch walk. And Oscar Gonzalez, who's got a triple, a double, and an RBI, is coming to the plate. And Brian Snicker has seen enough. We'll have a real quick pitching change. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back. Trey Riley comes into the game. He fires the first pitch right there for a strike. It's 0-1. Riley, right-hander. We saw him the other day. The 0-1 pitch swung on. That ball is rifled over to third. A high hopper stab, makes a grab, jumps up, fires it over to first base. It's going to be a 5-3 put out. What an outstanding play by Keyshawn Ogans. I mean, that was an absolute hot shot. We get out of the inning. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country Baseball.
Oh, God. Just keep your mouth shut. You just making it worse.
I'm just feeling really down these days, and I don't know why. Have you exercised today? No. Did you go outside? No. Did you talk to anyone? No. Did you eat well? No. Did you limit your scrolling time? No. Did you make any plans? No. Did you drink enough water? No. Did you get enough sleep? No. Wait, yes. Yes to that one. Yeah, no, it's, what a mystery.
Over the next few days, the nation slowly began to regroup. Thousands made their way to New York to help search the rubble for survivors. Only a handful were found. They're still trying to find people, Derek Jeter, a resident of Manhattan, said. I really don't think it's the right time to play baseball. On Friday, September 14th, Commissioner Bud Selig announced that baseball would begin again the following Monday.
Following Monday, when they opened Wall Street, the streets were ringed with men with machine guns. There was still smoke pouring out of the pyre of the World Trade Center. A cop recognizes me. He says, "How are you?" I said, I'm all right. I'm all right. "How are you?" He says, "I'm worried." I said, "Yeah, I'm worried too." He said, "I'm worried about the Mets." And I sort of snapped out of it. I said, "You're worried about the Mets?" He said, "Yeah, well, I mean, the season resumes tonight. I'm really worried. You're in Pittsburgh. I mean, do you think they've got enough to get back in the pennant race? I mean, they were doing so well, and can they catch the Braves?" I said, "How on earth could that possibly matter? We're standing, I mean, the smoke coming up from behind us. And what?" He says, "Well," he says, "it doesn't matter. Of course it doesn't matter. I got 300 friends dead. It doesn't matter." He says, "But tonight, 7 o'clock, and all day the rest of today, I can look forward to 7 o'clock where I can put my feet up and pretend it does matter."
Please like and subscribe today. YouTube.com/@BravesCountry. Welcome back. Last chance for your Atlanta Braves. We'll begin with Horn leading off. Bryson Horn, as time is called. It'll be Bryson Horn. His first pitch on the way to Horn is a fastball, misses wide of the zone. It's 1-0. Tully is back out there. He's 17 pitches into his outing. Lefty-lefty matchup, the 1-0 pitch. Right there at the knees for a strike. It's 1-1. Horn, Liberato, and Tavares. If anybody gets on, it would be Kilpatrick. The 1-1 pitch. Slice fouling out of play. It's 1-2. If you just joined us, Kilpatrick hit a home run his last time up. He's 1-for-1 with an RBI. The 1-2. Swung on and lifted high, but not very deep into center field. Drifting back, making the catch. Trent Grisham, and there's one away. Appreciate those of y'all are still with us. I know these spring training games, these long spring training games can be yeoman's work. Cade Bunnell will grab the bat. Lefty-lefty matchup. The first pitch on the way to Cade. The fastball blew it right by him. It's 0-1. Cade coming in for Liberato. The 0-1. Right down the pipe again. 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Cade Bunnell, 26-year-old out of Madison, Wisconsin, played his college ball for the Indiana Hoosiers. The 0-2 pitch swung on, and that ball is laced high into right field, off the wall, almost got out of here. And it is a one-out double to get things going here in the top of the ninth for your Atlanta Braves. That'll bring the tying run to the plate. Bunnell, by the way, was drafted by the Braves back in 2019. Back when they had many rounds like we talked about. That was in the 40th round. First pitch on the way from Tully to Tavares is right there at the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Tully comes set. Southpaw lets her go. Swing and a miss off the edge. Took something off that one. It's 0-2. Nice little changeup. So an 0-2 count. Bunnell on second with one down. He's dancing back and forth. Here's the pitch. Swung on that ball. Just goes off the glove of the pitcher, and it's going to ricochet towards right field, but it'll get cut off by the first baseman, Jose Rojas. He slid over to first in this inning. So Bunnell will not score, but you put the go-ahead run at home plate with runners on the corners and 2 outs, and it will be Mr. Kilpatrick who hit a home run his last time up. Runners on the corners, 1 out, first pitch, fastball right there inside for a strike. It's 0-1. Kevin Kilpatrick in high A hit .226 with 5 home runs last year. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on, hammered down the third base line, just foul. And I mean just foul. That would have scored 1 and put the tying run on third without a doubt. You may not even be able to slide an envelope in between the foul line and where that ball landed. The 0-2 pitch. Tully lets her go down and in. Good take by Kilpatrick. It's 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. Comes set. Delivers. Swung on. Hit high. Not very deep, but it'll be deep enough to score the run. Tagging up and heading home is Bunnell. And the Braves are within run 1. It's 9-8. Tavares had to stay at first, so he is not in scoring position. That'll bring Conley to the plate. Be a lefty-righty matchup for Cal Conley. It's from Orlando, Florida. Played his college ball at Texas Tech. First pitch on the way, misses out of the zone. It's 1-0. Conley was drafted by the Braves in 2021 in the 4th round. So a pretty high draft pick. The 1-0 pitch, swung on, chopped over to second, and it will end the game. Tag applied to the runner by the second baseman, and that will end the game and the inning. And the Braves lose a tough one, 9-8, high-scoring affair. Braves 8 runs, 11 hits, no errors. Yankees 9 runs, 17 hits, no errors. Time of the game is going to be just under 3 hours. We started this at 1:05, so we'll call it at 2 hours and 53 minutes. And the next time we will be with you here on Braves Country will be the game on Saturday, 1:05 first pitch, and it's the breakout game. Going ahead, we also not only do we have the Saturday game, but then we're going to be doing the series, the opening series that's taking place over in Seoul, Korea between the Dodgers and San Diego Padres. It is official games. Those will be the following week. And I know it's not Braves baseball, but because it's the opening series, we decided to do it. And we got some stations that want to carry it, so we're going to go ahead and do that. And that Thursday that's a part of that opening series, we're actually doing a doubleheader that day. We'll do San Diego versus the Dodgers, game 2 on that Thursday, which is the 21st, and we're going to come back and give you a doubleheader that day of Braves versus Yankees rematch. And I think that one is in a Cool Today Park in Atlanta, but it may be in New York's park as well. And then that'll head us towards the regular season. We may, I saw Robert asking about it. We may put up some chats during March Madness, but I won't try to do the games because I'm going to be working. So if y'all want to do the chats, we'll put them in there because I'm here in studio anyway. So there's no reason why I can't do it. We'll run an experiment and run them maybe even this week during the SEC tournament and whatnot. We'll put those up maybe Thursday or Friday. I haven't looked at the schedule, but if y'all are interested and you want to chat during that, I don't mind putting that together. It doesn't take that long to put it up. And like I said, I'm in studio anyways. All right, we're going to go ahead and get out of here, y'all. Y'all have a great day. Thanks to y'all who have joined the membership, the country club. And appreciate everyone liking and subscribing as well. And we'll see you next time. Braves lose a tough one. Thankfully, these are just practice games because the real ones are right around the corner. And we got to get some. I'm still worried about the starting pitching doing well to begin. We're going to be fine for the year. And remember something, too. When the season starts, we're going to be doing post-game shows. So the post-game show will follow live. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a link in the game itself to take you straight to the post-game show afterwards, because we're going to make that on a different stream. It's got to do with folks who aren't up late that want to watch it but don't want to sift through in the entire game. The pregame show will still be here. Both of them will be live, which is new for this year. All right, y'all have a great day, y'all. And man, I love the fact that those chops actually look really good in the section. I didn't know what they were going to look like. Goat and everyone else that's got them, and I love the fact that it's next to your name. It's really cool. And you'll see too, as the longer you're here, the picture itself will change next to you. Y'all have a great day, y'all, and hopefully we'll get a better win. And Saturday is the breakout game, and I can't wait to see. I think we'll get Hurston Waldrop and a bunch of other folks in that game. That ought to be a fun one to watch. We'll see you on Saturday, y'all.